everybody, and we are back with a brand new episode of Soaps and Sass.
Yes, we are. Get excited. We are here to talk about the week of October 20th to 24th.
Yes.
Woohoo! This is episode 40 of Soaps and Sass, and I am Mama Sass.
And I am Baby Sass. And have we got a show for you?
Have we?
I mean,
I was about to launch into Veggie Tales.
I know, it's one of the reasons I said it. But from what transpired this week, we've got many laughs, many moments that have ticked us off, and moments that have definitely earned our sass.
Definitely.
So,
should we jump right into the recap?
I was waiting for you to just go.
All right. On Monday, Nina and Willow's arraignment takes a shocking turn. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. Should we just say right now? Willow gets denied bail?
I was going to left alone.
I'm going to say it now. Willow gets denied bail.
And Nina rats her out.
Well.
Effectively, because she takes back her statement. So she effectively rats her out by saying she ain't got no alibi.
And then Drew jumps up and starts calling Nina out her name in the courtroom. Brooklyn hosts a party. Hilarity ensues. What else? Well, I mean, we knew that was going to come. Jordan puts the pieces together. She figures out that Portia's pregnant. Michael makes a bold statement. Basically says, if I would have shot Drew and wanted him dead, he'd be dead. And Carly gives Jack an out. But Jack don't take it. And I just hear Mr. T in my head.
I pity the fool.
On Tuesday, Tracy's war with Ronnie escalates. And we gonna talk about that. Portia vents to Isaiah. We ain't gonna talk about that. Kai apologizes to Curtis. He finally figured out that, Drew was a bad man and he's sorry he ever believed him. Alexis receives a tempting offer. There was nothing tempting about it, but she kind of didn't see any way out but to take it.
Right.
And Lucas debates with Lulu.
Yeah.
And so we'll just say really quickly that Lucas was asking Lulu about why she was going after Michael in the press. And Lulu's like, well, it seems kind of obvious that Michael did it. Like, he's got more,
what I heard.
Got more motive. Yeah, exactly. Because Lulu overheard Michael over at the Quartermaines making that bold statement. And Lucas basically tells her Willow has more of a propensity for violence than people seem to think. So, just cool your jets with slamming Michael. On Wednesday, Valentine gets an unexpected visitor. It's Carly. Brennan meets with Jocelyn. Carly's given food for thought. Valentine had a lot to say.
He did.
Emma and Gio make a plan to go after Dalton. I didn't even realize that was still really a story, but okay. And Tracy defends herself. Well, that ties into the war and the party, so we're gonna come back to that. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say it kind of is still a story. It's because of the whole Five Poppies thing.
Yeah, I know.
It's just the Dalton aspect of that is just not as prominent because it's like no one cares.
Exactly. That's what I was like. Oh, is that still in there? All right. On Thursday, Christina does some digging. She's trying to figure out what's happening between Jacinda and Michael. Willow meets with her new attorney, which is basically Alexis. I'm pretty sure we're going to talk more about that, but that was the offer that Alexis got. Cody meets his new boss, so he basically meets Ronnie, fills her in a little bit on a different aspect of Tracy. Drew threatens legal action. Who was he threatening legal action against? I thought that didn't happen till Friday, to be honest.
He was threatening legal action against Christina and Jacinda because, as you just said, Christina does some digging.
Okay, sorry. Forgot about that. And Chase is taken aback. As he should be, because Chase was out of order, but we're going to come to that. He was out of order,
but he learned some information.
Yeah, we're going to come to that. On Friday, Jason offers support. This is Spinelli, who's spiraling out about Nathan. Lulu and Nathan reconnect, and they have more in common than Nathan might have thought, because Lulu was in a coma for 4 years and, lost a whole bunch of her life, as did Nathan. Brooklyn gets bittersweet news. This made me sad. But we're going to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, and Michael escalates his plan. Michael, man. Cheese on bread. Drew finds a potential ally. I'm not sure that he did, but if that's what you want to spin.
That's what threw me off, because I read that, I said, okay, and with what happened at the end of Thursday, I was like, and then what went on Friday, I was like, but then with the mess that then ended up happening, no, he did not. I can't see how he did.
I don't see how he did either. All right, so that's what we had. So, there's some points that I'm thinking to talk about. Why don't we talk about the party first?
Okay.
Because that was kind of like the big storyline for the week. So as y'all may recall, Brooklyn wanted to throw a tea party to introduce Ronnie to some other people in Port Charles.
Yeah.
And at the party were Jordan and Portia, Stella and Liz.
First off, why was Portia even there?
I don't know, but that's okay. There was Stella and Liz.
There was Stella.
There was Felicia and Lucy.
Lucy is out of pocket.
Lucy
She's out of order.
Out of pocket. All
She's out of order.
The time.
My girl gets introduced to Ronnie. Ronnie, it's so nice to meet you. My name is Lucy. I am, one of the people who run deception. But, I'm a jack of all trades. Flips her wrist, pulls out a card. I'm also a real estate agent. So if you ever want to sell this beautiful home, Lucy!
That was totally my number one comedy moment of the week. Was Lucy pulling that card out her sleeve.
You're fast with yourself. You're fast with yourself.
Oh my goodness.
Lord.
Right? Also at the party, so Olivia was there. Tracy was there.
That was pretty much it. And Lulu shows up later, and then so does Martin.
Yeah, Lulu shows up later,
Martin
as does Martin.
Martin crashes the party.
Because when they were at the courthouse for the trial, Lulu would let Martin know that she had to go off to this tea party because somebody else had inherited the house. And Monica's sister was in town. And Martin seemed very intrigued by this piece of news. And I was like, and I remember saying to you, why he looking like that? What's he up to?
Next thing you know,
he's at the house, talk about how Lulu forgot her phone at the courthouse. And was like, no, I didn't. I have my phone right here. Now, interestingly, they both had similar cases. So,
oh, you mean like everybody does on the show?
I guess so.
Everybody has the exact same phone and the exact same case. I'm like, that is one of the things that has me hot. I'm like, y'all need to be like Beyond the Gates. Everyone can have I don't care if everyone has the same phone, but everyone should have different cases
to match their style.
Right, yeah. To match their style, and also so it's like you can differentiate, because it's like you're essentially telling me that when you have everyone playing these different scenes on the show, you just have however many sets of phones
and just pass them back and forth.
Exactly. It's like, no.
Yeah.
So ridiculous.
Yep.
So annoying.
So then Martin supposedly was about to leave, and then Stella's like, oh, come in here, Martin. Come and meet Ronnie, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it was bloody convenient.
I'm like, Stella, that was so
right? So Martin comes in, he does meet Ronnie. Again, there's like a weird eye exchange between them, but I couldn't really put my finger on what those looks were, type of thing.
And then it gets shady, because Ronnie then gets...
Well, this is it, because Ronnie had put down her cup of tea, which looked like a glass of water to me, and I was like, hey, for once they actually put something in the cup, because usually these cups just be empty, and steeping her tea in an empty cup, whatever. So I was like, oh, there's actually a liquid in here. Okay, cool.
Like, don't insult the Brits.
So she put it down, and I thought that was sus. Like, they had made such a point of having us see her put it down. She meets with Martin. And then Martin's like, you know what? I wasn't actually invited. I'm going to go. And the next thing we see is Ronnie apparently drunk.
She takes a sip. And we're like, who spiked that drink?
Right. Apparently drunk. She just completely lost her mind. She called Tracy out her name. They get into a big row. And she ends up kicking Tracy out of the house.
Yep.
Tracy ultimately, we see, has gone to stay with Lulu. But anyway.
Tracy,
I'm going to come back to that.
She said, I will take everything, photos and anything that belonged to my family, out of this house.
Yep.
And boy, did she keep that promise.
Yep. Do we want to go into that further now, or want to come back to that later?
Might as well.
Okay, so my theory, I believe that Martin slipped Ronnie and Mickey. I think the two of them are working together somehow.
I believe that.
I don't know how. I haven't figured that out.
Well,
or why?
The why is obviously, in Martin's case, it's to piss off Tracy. That is clear.
Yes.
That's to piss off Tracy. It's the
100%.
Ronnie aspect of why she's doing it. It's like, why are you coming in to hurt this family, hurt your sister's family? Like, are you doing it out of spite because your sister cut you off, made this life, and all of this? But if that's the case, it's okay. But if you aren't doing it to spite Monica and her family, why are you doing all this shadiness to this family who you don't know and did nothing wrong to you? Well, you have beef with your sister, not the family.
See, because we do know that Martin has lost all his money.
Yes.
Thanks to Tracy.
Right. But any money he does get goes to the wives, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, not all of it. I mean, obviously he was living some kind of sort of well. I mean, he was staying in a hotel. I don't know about all of that. But I'm wondering if he and Ronnie are not related somehow.
Dear Lord.
And so Ronnie's going to siphon off the money and give him a cut so that he can get back to his status. But I can't see that quite. I can't see how that works.
If he comes into this money, the courts are going to be like, we see you have this money. Where does this money come from?
Why would the courts be like that?
Because, he has to pay all of his wife's alimony. It's not just that you do it a one-time thing.
No.
Because as we found, he divorced all 4 of his wives however many years ago. It was dating Lucy. And then the second, sells whatever house he sold, which I think might have been Windermere. He gets thrown in jail because he hadn't given the money to his ex-wives yet.
Yeah, that whole plot line was ridiculous because it's like the house sold at 9 a.m. and he's getting locked up at 10. It was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Which also then is like, there's this other thing where it's like, you can't get remarried or you have to pay another set of thing. So
the whole thing is nonsense. But I feel they're connected somehow.
Yes, related? I don't think so.
Okay, and that's fine and that's fair. I just hope whatever it is not illegal, because I don't want Martin to be like Cyrus.
No, I don't.
No, I think he's shady a little bit.
Shady, yes. Illegal, no. I think he would have if he was doing anything, he would have done it through the proper channels. Yeah. So they can't, like, the will, like, Tracy's like, this will does not make sense. Something is very wrong.
Yes.
But Alexis is like, this will is legal. Like, there's nothing.
Right. But Tracy says during the week that the will is a fake. And the one thing that Tracy said, just as she was thrown out, that I completely and 100% agree with, she basically told Ronnie, you're a fraud. I don't know how you're a fraud. I'm going to figure it out. But one thing that you don't seem to know about your sister that I know for sure is that Monica was never, ever cruel to people. And there is no way she would have left me a jar of pickle Lila.
Right, and then taken that house from Michael.
Yeah. But I think it was more about the jar of pickle Lila.
Even still, it's like...
Because and when she said that, I'm like, you know what? She's right. Monica would not have done that.
That's why I'm like, you can't tell me the jar of pickle relish was the only thing she left Tracy. Because that doesn't make sense. Especially
she wouldn't have left it at all. She would not, because she knows Tracy wouldn't have found that funny.
This is my point. Yeah. It's like, you're telling me, because I didn't know the significance until you told me what the significance of the jar of relish was. But you're telling me this, and I'm like, no, that can't be it. There's no way Monica left. Like, that has to be some kind of joke prank, and then Alexis is gonna say, okay, no, but in actuality, she left you this.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's more to it than that. She wouldn't have just left her the jar of relish. Like,
agreed. And Monica had a sense of humor, but I don't even think just leaving her the jar of pickle Lila would have been in her sense of humor.
No, that's what I'm like. Even I'm like, something's off.
Yep, for sure. But then still talking about Tracy, because really, Tracy has a sense of entitlement that is just a little ridiculous.
She does,
and they really amplified it this week. So she went over to stay at Lulu's, which is fine. That part I can see. But then the next day, as you said, Tracy said she's coming back for two things. Mm-hmm. And this 18-wheeler, or what I imagine to be an 18-wheeler truck, pulls up at Lulu's with all the things that Tracy packed from the house. And as the week goes on, we are seeing Alan's train set. We're seeing a box of diplomas. We're seeing a box of Christmas decorations. What the tail you need with a box of Christmas decorations? Like, Tracy, come on. Then there's this box of doilies and dinnerware. This box was the size of an armchair. Mm-hmm. Like, really and truly, Tracy, what the hell? What the hell? You are staying by somebody until you can figure out your next move, and you bring not just your worldly possessions, but
your
the
brother,
worldly possessions of all those
your dead father.
Right? Like, I'm shocked. I'm shocked that Hades did not end up at the house. if you're gonna bring something, Hades would have made a little more sense.
Right, but here's the thing. I think even though Hades is hers, she trusts Cody as we know, and she's like, 100%. I'm not going to displace my horse, who I love dearly, who I know is being taken care of fully and well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it.
No, that part I agree with. I totally agree with that. But if you're gonna bring new things to somebody, you're gonna bring the things you value. If you needed to have all these things, you can't find a storage space in Port Charles. Will you pack up and mash at the woman's house with all these things, and you know she got children living in there?
And she just moved.
You're not moving in. You are staying by her for a minute. What is going on? She got me hot. She got the Beijing strong on me today.
I think it's even Lulu saw that. I said, Tracy, why is there a massive ass truck in my driveway?
I mean, and that you let her unload the truck at your place. I don't know, Lulu. That's on you.
I'm like, the woman has taken over her living room, her dining room, her deck. There's still boxes on and then on top of that, not only is the woman taking over her house, the people forgot a box.
Yeah. And I want to keep noise about how Lulu's children are behaving in Lulu's children's house. You kidding me? Nope.
I'm like, and then on top of this, like, well, in terms of Rocco, it's like, yeah, you lived with him.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, as somebody said, I think Lulu says, like, yeah, but you weren't in a tiny space like this. You guys had a whole separate wing, dividing you. But it's like, you know how Rocco is. You still lived with Rocco. And he still lives at the Quartermains half the time.
Yep.
Compared to Charlotte, who is there full time. And Charlotte got a mouth put her.
Well, hey, she was so disrespectful.
Right? I was thinking, Lulu, come get this child.
Right?
And she didn't move until she said something else. It's like, no, the first word out her mouth would have been...
Nope. Y'all could not have spoken to anybody in my house like that. I don't care how grown you are. Couldn't happen. Could not happen.
You know who you're talking to?
Yes, I know who I'm talking to.
Okay, you know who we were raised by.
I know, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's just madness. Okay, so there's some other comedy moments that kind of came out of this tea party. So, while Ronnie was supposedly drunk, I mean, she eventually figures out that somebody roofied her. But as we know, Portia's pregnant. And Portia's morning sickness is on the rampage.
I don't know why she thought it'd be a good idea to go to a tea party.
She was invited. It's at the Quartermains. It's going to be a thing.
Don't make it any better. If you know your morning sickness kicking in, that's a...
Well, this is it.
That's your reason to say, as you can send a little text to Brooklyn. It's like, hey, Brooklyn, thank you for the invite. I really want to be there, but I'm not feeling too well. I'm so sorry.
Okay, yeah.
Like, you have a reasonable excuse to not go.
Real life, and that does not serve the plot, because as we saw...
I know we're women. We suffer through everything, but come on.
Right? And this is my who called for that. Okay, but I know it served the plot, but it's who called for that and a bit of a comedy, right? So every piece of food that's going by Portia is turning greener and greener and greener. And then at one point, Olivia comes in and insists she eats something, and Portia takes a bite, and I mean, really and truly, you could almost see the movement of her belly heaving. It was just so ridiculous. And Jordan's clocking all of this. Jordan is clocking, and it's like, okay, but Jordan, what's it to do with you?
Right? And I think it's more of the fact is like, you already lied to him the last time you had a kid, so...
Nah, but still. So this is where my who called for that comes in. So I was amused by Jordan side-eyeing Portia every minute.
Right.
So she clearly figured out she's pregnant. And then when Portia runs out the room, Jordan decides to follow her. So right. This is where we're getting to my who called for that moment. Jordan follows her. And then confronts her, and it's like, you're pregnant, aren't you? And Portia rightly tells her, mind your damn business. It ain't nothing
to do with you
whatsoever to do with you. And Jordan's still like, okay, but does Curtis know? Again, mind your business. It is nothing whatever to do with you. And then, next thing we see, Jordan calls Anna, meet me at the Brown Dog, and is venting to Anna about how Portia's pregnant, and she don't think Portia told Curtis. And again, it's like, why are you so upset about this? This is nothing to do with you. We recognize plot point, see it coming, sure. But honestly, mind your business.
Also, the fact that Portia's like, oh, Jordan, I don't know what you're talking about. I what do you mean? It's like, okay, Portia, even okay, she might be annoying to you, but she's not blind. She's not deaf. She clearly She was a secret agent, for goodness sake. She's meant to observe these things.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, sure, you don't want her to be involved in this, but just say, okay, look, yes, I'm pregnant. It's none of your business. What happens involving this baby and me and the people involved is our business, but you are not one of those people.
Yep.
And then later, I can understand Portia being annoyed that Jordan is getting into her business at this point. That is fine. But to later go back to her office at the hospital and then freaking Isaiah can't mind his own business, but to then go to her office and then vent to Isaiah about how Jordan can't mind her business is like, okay, that is fine. But also for you being pissed like every time you see Jordan and now Jordan can have Curtis and all of that, it's like, okay, I get it. You don't like Jordan. That is all well and fair. But she will always be family to Curtis for multiple reasons. Just as how you will be family to Curtis for multiple reasons. Mm-hmm. So you're going to have to deal with it. Because you and Curtis share a child. And then she and Curtis...
Yep.
They share a child / nephew.
Mm-hmm.
So, suck it up, Buttercup.
Pretty much.
You can't get rid of her.
Pretty much.
It's just like when, you know... Oh, I was gonna say whatever, but suck it up.
Yeah.
You can be you don't have to like her, but you don't have to tolerate her, but you best be cordial.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause you finna be seeing people at family gatherings.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so then if we move on to the other storyline, which wasn't a big one, but it was kind of interesting throughout the week. So, we know last week, I'm pretty sure it was last week, Jason told Carly that Joss is in WSB.
Right.
Carly gave both Jocelyn and Brennan every opportunity to tell the truth. When in her conversation with Jocelyn, I think Jocelyn kind of explained, without explaining, you know, why she joined the WSB and everything, and Carly was like, okay, I guess I can kind of see that. She ain't happy about it.
No.
But she's willing to let go. But she gave Jack another opportunity.
And Jack...
to tell her. And
I think Jack kind of...
Jack was like, Jack was kind of like,
this is not sounding right.
Does she know?
She might know, but if she does know, I'm still going to play it off like I don't know that.
Yeah. That was a mistake. Yeah.
It's
Carly is vexed.
It's like you had 2 opportunities to tell me. Yep. You had opportunity 1 when I found out that Vaughn was WSB.
Yep.
And then you had opportunity 2 when we were having this conversation.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, I don't see my flowers. I thought you might still be mad at me. And she's like, yeah, I am. Let's
don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted.
Right? It's like, I know you told me that there were things you would have to keep from me.
My daughter was not one of them.
And at the time, I thought I was good. But now the reality is setting in, and I don't know that I can live with it. And he's like, I can't lose you or whatever business. And that was the time.
That's the thing that bugs me. Because Sonny had the conversation with her.
Yep.
Lucas had the conversation with her.
Mm-hmm.
Jason had the conversation with her. Being like, you were married to Sonny for however many years. And Sonny was constantly keeping secrets from you. And you are not someone who likes being kept in the dark about things. And Jack, you thought Sonny was bad. Jack's job is to keep secrets. Jack's job is to lie to you. Sonny's job isn't to lie to you.
Yep.
He lies to you because he does it to protect you. Jack, he has to do that. That's his job. He gets paid to do that. And you're willing to be in a relationship with a man who actively has to do this?
That's what she said.
Like, how do you know every word that comes out of his mouth isn't a lie?
Right?
And
exactly.
She's like, well, I mean, I know what I'm walking into. I know Jack's a secret agent, and he wouldn't keep things from me. Carly, are you dumb or are you stupid? Because now he's manipulated your child and actively putting your child at risk.
And she didn't even realize to what extent. And so Carly vexed. And listen, Carly vexed.
Carly has no one.
Oh my gosh.
No one to blame but herself. And she even said that. She's like, she uses like, yes, you're right. You did tell me this, and I have no one to blame but myself. But, and she's like, I didn't know the extent of. It's like, no, but you should have had you didn't know the extent, but you should have had an idea to the extent. The man is literally a secret agent.
Well, she didn't, and so she's vexed, and Carly vexed is dangerous on a good day.
Carly is vexed to the point that she calls Spinelli and says, "Get me a fake identity and make it good."
Yep. So anyway, she with this fake identity, she jets off to Steinmauer, meets with Valentine, and Valentine lets her know, hey, listen, if Joss is in the WSB, it's because Brennan has something on her. He coerced her in some way. Carly puts two and two together. And it's like, wait a minute, are you telling me that my daughter killed Cyrus? And it's like, well, if she didn't, something happened around Cyrus, and that's how Jack got her in. And now Carly is blue. By the way, sorry, you go first.
I was gonna say, at this point, I'm glad it's not our Australian man, because my heart would have been breaking if it was our Australian man playing Brennan.
100%. Couldn't happen. Could not happen. I wouldn't believe it.
No, there are points in which I'm like, I really wish you were still here. For these certain things, but at this point now, I'm like, nope. Thank God it's this man, because
absolutely, this lines up for me.
Yeah,
100%. But I was gonna say, Carly's disguise when she went off to Steinmauer.
What is the costume department doing? What are they doing? Because like Portia and Elizabeth's dresses were. I mean, Elizabeth's dress was better than Portia's. I will give the costume department that. But that wig was bad. And
you thought so?
Yes, to the point of which my sister saw that wig and looked at me and said, "Baby Sass, that wig is horrible." I said, "I know." I said the same thing. And they asked me, "Do you think it is better or worse than the Avatar, The Last Airbender live action movie with Yue? Do you think Yue's wig was better?" I said, "No. Yue's wig was still worse. I mean, Carly's wig is still bad, but it's better than Yue's." When your sister has to ask you and compare to a movie that we all agree does not exist, when she has to bring it out of the abyss to compare something, you know it's bad.
Wow. She didn't look bad as a brunette though.
That wasn't a brunette. That was completely Raven.
Oh well, okay. I don't think she looked bad. I didn't like the hair, but she didn't look bad.
She didn't look bad, but they could have done so much better. Could have,
but I guess she's supposed to be a frumpy lawyer. I don't know.
Also, those glasses were just...
I know. But clearly it wasn't going to fool anybody who actually knew her, because Valentine took one look at her and was like, "Oh, I wasn't expecting you." But anyways, so basically Valentine and Carly are going to team up and burn Jack's life to the ground, and I am here for it. Exactly for the reason you said. The recast, bye.
Yeah.
You guys to go.
Yeah.
So there's that. Okay. Now, coming back to the other major storyline in the week, which is basically the trial. So, as we already said, Willow was denied bail. She got shipped off to Pentonville.
She was denied the funny thing is because I was a little confused. Because, for one, Marco came in talking to Nathan and was like, "Oh, D.A. Turner has to work on another case, so, we couldn't get in her decision, Nina's decision of whether she was going to recount or not." And I'm like, the woman came in the last episode asking Nina what decision she had made. Regardless of whether or not she got put on another case or not, does not mean that she couldn't get an answer. So, back on that. But two, it's like, we didn't get the answer, but then you have Nina sitting behind the prosecution rather than behind the defense, which to me would have made more sense, just so it's like, okay, you are still technically on trial, so when your turn comes up, just switch, but whatever.
Right.
But you got them sitting there, and then Willow asked the obvious question. Why is Nina over there? I thought we were getting tried together. Martin, I don't know, but we'll figure it out after. Or he said, something along the lines of, for the arraignment, you guys will be arraigned separately, but for the trial, you'll be tried together or something, so.
No, I think it was, we'll figure it out after.
Right.
But
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why Nina was sitting on the prosecutor's side either. But she definitely would not have been at the table because...
Right. It was different charges.
Yeah, exactly.
Which we found out later. Because we were... not at the time.
Right. The charges got amended when Nina got called.
Right. But it was hilarious because the judge is like, okay, so we're here on the counts of conspiracy, attempted murder. How do you plead? Not guilty, Your Honor. Okay. And how does the prosecution proceed? We request no bail. And then Martin... Your Honor, this woman has ties to the community. She has 2 children. She is not a flight risk. She is not going anywhere. She is not violent. And it's like, Your Honor, This woman has a history. No.
Mm-mm.
I agree with the prosecution. Bail denied. I will give props to Willow for not having a breakdown at the whole bail being denied.
Yeah,
but
I'm confused though. As you were listing the charges, because I didn't clock it, but I clocked it when you were just saying it. Given that Molly already knew that Nina was changing her plea or whatever, they had come to whatever deal.
They kept the conspiracy. And
why did they keep the conspiracy against Willow?
Because you can still conspire to kill somebody without having other people involved. At least I believe so.
That kind of belies the definition of conspire.
Well,
that would be
with yourself. But that's more premeditated.
That would then be premeditated. It's not a conspiracy.
That might just be a fluke on the writer's part.
Maybe. So that's odd.
Yeah.
I think that's a bad call on the writer's part. But anyway.
But yes, and then so bail gets denied. Then they have a little bit of a recess.
Yeah. And let's not forget that our viewers would have seen this. And if they haven't seen it, well, sorry, this should have been a spoiler alert, but...
Y'all need to catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then after that, Nina comes up.
Did I say our viewers? Or listeners?
I don't know. Anyway, so then Nina comes up after the recess, and they're like, Your Honor. Oh, it's like, whatever's like, Nina Reeves, blah, 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 blah. It's like, Your Honor, I plead guilty on the fact that I gave a false statement. And they're like, right, so we have amended the charges to giving a false statement with the penalty being she pays a fine and is on probation for a year. She's like, yep, I plead guilty. To which, before she can even recant her statement, because Nina then finds out in the courtroom that she has to actually verbally recant it. Rude. She can't just say, yeah, I plead guilty, I take back my statement. No, she actively has to verbally recount it in front of the court, so they have a record of her recounting it. I think before that point, Willow freaks out. Drew basically has an outburst.
Yeah, that's what he called her out her name, man.
Called her out her name, like, Nina, how could you just your daughter, and you and you down in the dirt, and like, he basically returned her.
And it's like, and again, congressman, yeah. Have you, like, I want, as a viewer, since Lulu's putting all kind of things in the newspaper.
She wasn't there at that point.
Had she left?
She had left because she...
Okay, so it's a tea party.
The tea party because the reporter she was covering for had shown up.
Okay, fine. Well, in any case, I want to hear... That's an assumption. We didn't know who he was.
I'm pretty sure he was the black man.
I want to hear...
Because I knew everybody else in that courtroom. Except for the bailiff.
I want to hear that in the press, it was reported... how the congressman behaved poorly in the courtroom. You cannot not report that. That's what I'm saying.
And the fact
I want to hear about it as a viewer.
But here's the thing, though, because it was Michael who put that piece out that she was arrested because it was Michael's newspaper that posted it.
Michael didn't say no. That's not what Michael said.
Yes.
No, that's not what he said. He didn't say he put it out. He said he was aware it had been put out because he owns the newspaper.
Either way.
Well, it's a nuance, but still an important nuance to me. But we like to nitpick over here, don't we?
We do. But anyway. Yeah.
So, I've completely lost my train of thought with respect to Nina in any way.
No, but you were talking about the congressman and how that needs to be reported.
But even before that. But I did like when you were talking about where Nina had to actually recant in court. I like how she snatched the statement showing her displeasure. Oh, that's what it was. But Willow and Drew, like, I don't even understand the two of them. Like, they're outraged and getting on the way they are, but hello, when you talk about Carly, are you stupid or are you dumb? It's like, y'all haven't figured out yet that was bound to happen because the alibi very clearly fell through and that was the whole reason she got arrested? Have you not done this math? Did your lawyer did Martin not tell you that your alibi was disproven with video footage? Does Martin not know? What? Like, what else was Nina going to do? Nina didn't really have it. She's gonna stand there and go, no. As Nina tried to do, it's a deep fake. Like, what is wrong with you two? Book sense is not common sense here. Book sense is not common sense.
Street sense ain't common sense. Book sense ain't common sense. Common sense ain't even common sense. Common sense is officially rare sense, both ridiculous. In the world and in TV.
Oh man, that made me mad. You know, great viewing, But can we have great viewing with a little logic? Please. Us analyticals need this.
Because if you want that, you need to become a writer. You need to be like, no, you need to be that person who's like, you're not even really a writer. You're just there. It's like, but does this logically make sense to you? Would the viewers believe this?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, but you know what? I guess I can believe it because Drew is so narcissistic that everything will go the way he expects it to go.
As he thought it would go with Ronnie.
Yeah. So he just can't conceive of it going any other way, and he's shocked every time. That's the only. But Willow. Willow's just delusional, right? Plain and simple. Fine.
The thing that I find hilarious in Willow's case is she's like, your bill's denied, and you'll be held in Pentonville for the entirety of your trial.
That was something I like. Pentonville, my goodness.
And then Chase talking to Michael. You know how Pentonville is. She wouldn't survive in Pentonville. Just like you and Drew know how it is. It's like, yeah, she won't survive. She'll become someone's. Yeah.
Any hoot.
Unless the Willow who decided to, mess with a baby and shoot a congressman comes out while she's in jail, Willow ain't making it.
Well, she seemed to make it through the first day, okay?
It's the first day.
I know.
Yeah, she probably hadn't even been there for that long.
But,
she probably only been there for a few hours.
Maybe. Because she don't seem jittery. She seemed very, very composed when she came out.
That's because Heather Weber ain't in there anymore.
Maybe. But, Pentonville, if people ain't surviving, I think Willow should have been looking a little more frazzled when she met with Alexis, rather. Mm. But you mentioned Chase and Michael and their conversation. And this was the thing. Chase
is just out of pocket, left, right, and center.
Absolutely.
What is happening to my good boy Chase?
Like, seriously, this is disturbing me on a level.
Are we gonna get to the point where Nathan comes back onto the force and takes Chase's job?
Right, because Chase gets suspended because he just crossed the line. Woo!
Like,
and
I'm also to the point of, Chase, is this gonna literally ruin your marriage? Because you are going so far into this family that you are just like, wee and woo and.
Well, maybe because they had hinted at it before. There was a little bit of a hint, maybe 3 or 5 months ago, where it kind of looked like Chase might be kind of falling for Willow again and taking up for her.
Well, there's that. There's also the fact that he and Brooklyn are now putting the whole baby thing on hold.
Exactly. So when that started, they were kind of making it look like Chase would go back for Willow. So maybe that's where that's going. But I'm also trying to remember. Were you watching when Nell was on the scene when Chase and Nell first showed up? Because Chase had come to Port Charles because he was following up on Nell because Nell had done whatever dirt she'd done.
Yeah, I know.
Back in Florida.
I definitely wasn't there when Chase came up. No,
and I'm trying to remember. I only
first learned about Chase when he and Brooklyn decided to do the plot with Bailey Lou. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the first thing I ever knew about Chase. I somewhat knew about Brooklyn because Nell had her throat.
Right.
But even then, I didn't know who Brooklyn was. I just knew she was a singer and she did Brooklyn dirty.
Right.
But that was about it.
Right. So this is the thing. I need to go back and check because I think Chase might have gotten suspended in Florida for having crossed the line with respect to Nell. Because if my memory serves, he and Nell had been dating, and Nell convinced him to do whatever that helped her cover up a crime, and then he figured that out, and so he was trying to, kind of make Nell pay and put her in prison and what have you.
Oh Lord, you just falling for sisters and doing dastardly stuff
again. Ooh. So he may actually have a history of crossing the line. I need to go back and research that. I don't remember.
Okay. But yeah, he crossed the line with Michael in the steam room.
Yeah.
So much to the point that Michael had to be like, you don't know Willow as well as you think you do. Because she is capable of doing dastardly things. One of them being messing with my daughter, who I had to send away with her mother, and now I get photos of her growing up and I don't get to see. And Chase is like, what are you talking about? Anybody could... It's like anyone could have moved Daisy. Daisy was in that basket the whole time. It's like, no... Willow knows the cameras. We didn't change the locks. Willow was there the day that they brought the wrong baby to the room. Like, Willow could have easily done this, and you could see.
Chase was just like,
So my question is, now, because Chase then later went to the Pentonville to see Willow, and he's like, I'm going to dig into this on my own time. Mm-hmm. Which I think that in and of itself will put also a strain on his marriage. Yeah. But
and on his job, right? Where he's gonna get suspended. Yep.
But also, I'm like, my one question now is he actually going, while he's doing this, will he actually learn that it was Willow who messed with Daisy? Like, will he somehow actually find proof that it was her? And if he does, will that then be like,
will he try to cover it up, or will he
cover it up, or will he then be like, but if Willow is capable of messing with a baby like who is innocent in everything, is she actually capable of shooting like Drew? Mm-hmm. So will that lead to a?
Yeah, agreed.
So that's the question.
It is the question.
And I'm hoping if there is proof to be found that it was Willow, I'm hoping Chase is the one who finds it, so he can have that inner battle.
Yeah, but now both Dante and Chase have the information of Michael's suspicions, so that's kind of cool. And then speaking of Chase going to visit Willow at Pentonville, we had our other comedy moment there, because we have seen. Maybe it's not in General Hospital.
No, but I'm pretty sure it's General Hospital.
I'm pretty sure we have seen it in General as well, where the person visiting goes to visit to touch the prisoner.
I feel like it was like a Heather Weber moment with Elizabeth or something, or with Heather has definitely had a moment where she's gone to hug someone and the guards have been like, "Hey, don't touch the prisoner."
Oh, okay, cool. So Chase and Willow hug, and the guard behind is like, looking like she's about to be like, "Don't touch a prisoner," but I guess she wasn't paid to speak as a background actor, and so she's kind of looking around at the other guard like, "Hey, you gonna do something about this? Like, what is going on?" So that made us laugh, and then I was a little bit rude, but anyway,
hey, it was good. It was a good laugh.
It was a whole belly laugh.
All right, so I know we're technically talking about each thing, but do we actually want to go into our categories?
Yes, because I think I've covered really all the things I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
As far as the week. So we had one more comedy moment, right?
Well, I didn't actually call this one out during the tea party, but...
I did. You talking about Lucy?
No.
Oh.
It's literally the second one the second bullet point. I never actually called it out.
No, we didn't. That's what I was saying. Let's go. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, after Ronnie gets a little tipsy, she's lying on this couch, kicking off her shoes, and she's like, let your hair down, put your feet up, let's cut loose. And I immediately say after that, I'm like, the last one who cut loose was doing body shots off a hooker. You better be careful how you cut loose.
For real. That was awesome. And then, same thing, right? So Tracy's all upset because Ronnie's kicked off her shoes, put her feet on the table, and Tracy starts telling Ronnie tutus, and Ronnie gets all up in her face.
My girl was ready to splash a vase on her.
Oh my goodness. And Ronnie came out with the sassiest line I have heard. And I say sassy. I used to say this to people back when I was in college, when they used to get on my nerves, and they were so uptight. And Ronnie's talking about, you are so uptight, you need to relax. When was the last time you were with a man? Because really, you need to relax.
That was so out of pocket.
Oh, I was dead laughing. I was so dead out of pocket. I'm like, laughing.
I'm like, that is none of your business.
It's none of your business, but...
For all you know, I could be getting it every night, and I'm still just stuck up. But that's none of your business. That is a comment.
Oh my gosh.
And I wish Tracy would have fired back, just like, oh my goodness. Because we all know Tracy hasn't had none since Luke died, but Ronnie don't know that.
No, she don't. But I thought that was
we all know
fantastic line.
Because I'm like, in fairness, we all know she wanted Gregory to give her some, but Gregory had feelings for some other people.
Yeah, that was too bad. Speaking of Make It Sassy.
It's because I can't see it.
That's okay. So Drew shows up at the house on Friday afternoon, or Thursday afternoon, whatever, knocks on the door.
For me, that had me so hot. It wasn't even sass.
What? No, it was sassy. Ronnie opens the door.
Oh, sorry, because I'm still looking at what had me hot, because again, I can't see it.
That's okay. Ronnie goes to the door, finds Drew on the other side.
In his suit and tie, flat knit, looking nice and pressed. And Ronnie says,
I'm very happy with my religious beliefs, or something, that starts closing the door. I don't know, she thinks he's a Jehovah's Witness or a Mormon.
Yep.
Oh, that's fantastic. I don't know who's writing these lines, but yo, I have to admit I'm here for it.
Yeah, so who's ever writing that is clearly like, what would my first thought be?
Right?
And writes it down. Not even like...
Oh my goodness.
Because you all know how you have you have that person who just will say the first thing out their mouth and it's so inappropriate or rude.
Yep.
And you tell them, don't say the first thing, don't say the second, maybe don't even say the third. Yeah, no, who's ever writing these savage lines is like, no. In this case, say the first thing that comes to mind.
But I think the part that I love best is, well, except for the comment she made to Tracy, but here, it's like she's just saying it so very innocently. Yeah. She's just like, I already gave it the office, thank you. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. Alright, so you were going to your What Had Me Hot, which also involves Drew at somebody's house. Go on.
Right. So, when it came to the Quartermain house, Drew had the decency to actually ring the doorbell or knock on the door, whichever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. Apparently, when it comes to Willow and getting her out of jail, man just walks up into people's houses like Alexis, because Alexis is on the phone doing work or talking to whoever, and then just a door opens, in walks Drew, or limps in Drew, since he's still on his crutches. He limps into the house, closes the door, and Alexis is like, excuse me, who are you to just walk up in my house? And he's like, the door is unlocked. Me. And?
But that's it. How you get to try the door, because, most people, even if the door's unlocked, you will knock and walk in. You will ring and walk in. You don't just walk in.
No. Unless you have an open invitation to come to my house and walk up and so. Like how in our family, there's certain people who are allowed to ring the doorbell and just walk up and so we at least know they're there. You are not one of those people. Alexis does not give you permission. I'm pretty sure the only people who can walk up so into Alexis' house are her children and her grandchildren. And maybe select friends. But not you. Especially not you with the foolishness you be doing.
And you would think, Alexis, after Cody and Rick just walked in your front door the other day, you would learn to lock a damn door. Seriously.
Yeah. Because I can tell you
Check
this.
what you get.
I can tell you this. After an incident that happened at our own house, we definitely learned to lock a door. Because here's the thing. The person who walked up in our house, it's not like we hate them. It's not like we dislike them. We just don't know them well enough to let them walk up in our house. So we were like, what?
Yeah. Nope.
Yeah, so, yeah. Doors are definitely locked after that.
Not cool. All right. And then for me, what had me hot was just the level of Tracy's entitlement at Lulu's house. I already spoke about this, I think, quite at length.
You did.
And you're just visiting. So, check yourself. That leaves us with, where do you want to go, hero or villain?
Oh, very quickly, because I know you asked me this earlier, what'd you do that for was. I'm going to give that to Jordan. Why'd you tell Anna that for? You didn't need to tell Anna that. That's none of your business.
Fair enough.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Make it make sense for me. I know you said something else, but it's like Spinelli reaching out to Jason. I'm like, I understand why Spinelli reached out to Jason. As he told Jason, he's like, well, you were gone for some time and you had to, redevelop your relationships with your son. Yep. So, I'm just wondering how it's going to work with James and Nathan, because they actually have to build a relationship rather than, rebuild. And I'm just like, Spinelli, I get why you're worried and stuff like that, because, again, you've been a part of James's life for however many years now, and you think of him as a son, which is fair. But, again, if you're having these thoughts, have a conversation with Nathan. Mm-hmm. I know you technically already had one, but it's like, have a conversation. Like, legally, you have no... I can't say claim, I can't... rights. You legally have no rights to James because you didn't legally adopt him in the time that Nathan has been gone. And even then, if you did, I think... I feel like because of the circumstances around it, of Nathan's situation, that... I have no idea how this would work because I'm not a lawyer whatsoever. But I don't even know if that would still be in effect.
I don't know.
Because really, someone would have to have this literal actual life experience to know. But
I think when Jason came back from the dead, one of the times there was a whole big song and dance to get him declared alive again.
Yeah, because I will tell you this: getting declared alive is not like what you saw in that Doris Day movie. It wasn't a quick, yep, you're alive. No.
Yep.
But yeah, just have a conversation, and I like how Jason said, just invite him to dinner. Like, see how he interacts and everything. Also, I'm like, because he was, Spinelli also said something, and I'm like, but it's the same thing as how you, when you had left to be with Ellie, and you had full custody of Georgie, it's like, Maxie, like Georgie had enough room in her heart for Ellie and Maxie. Maxie being Georgie's biological mom, but then there's Ellie being her stepmom. It's like, yeah, these are kids. They're not adults where they're like, they can make the decision of whether they want you in the life. Well, they can still have a say and be like, you know what, I don't want you, or you know what. But like, as their guardians and as their parents, you're going to at least try to have them to have a relationship with this person. And if eventually they don't want that, that's their decision.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like Jason said, have a conversation, invite him to dinner, let them interact, because they're all his family.
Yep.
And he's technically still legally married to Maxie.
So, I think we'll tie all these together. Villain of the week, hero of the week, because it's something we didn't actually talk about specifically, but as part of the deal for Alexis representing Willow, Drew said that he would lift the restraining orders on everybody except for Danny, which for me was problematic. That he to be fair, he really, really did not leave Alexis very much choice. However, there's always a choice.
There is always a choice, and she could have said no.
And I was very frustrated that as a grandmother, she would pick one grandchild over the other.
Yep.
I mean, that's just the way I see it, very, very simply. And she kind of seemed to see it that way based on what happened next. But anyway, so she gets to see Scout. They go to Bobby's, which is... And I was thinking the whole time, and, you know, what I thought would happen is exactly what happened. It's like, you're at Bobby's. You don't think that Danny might show up? Which he did. Now, the nanny, which is who you have as villain of the week.
Freaking nanny.
From the time that they got there, Nanny was side-eyeing Alexis and Christina so damn hard. And it was like, who are you to have an opinion? You're paid to bring the child and paid to carry the child where she needs to go. Right. You're not paid to have an opinion. Sit down and mind your business.
But clearly in this case, she is paid... Well, technically, any nanny is paid to keep the parents updated because you're looking after their child. But clearly, I wouldn't be surprised if Drew was paying extra to be like, yo... I know your job's to look after Scout, but really in this situation,
be my eyes and ears.
Be my eyes and ears.
Like he'd already asked Kai to do. But so to that end, it's like Bobby's was a very bad choice.
It was.
Like, why you didn't take the girl to the woman's house or have the woman come to their house?
Even with her house, it's still likely that Danny would show up there. I get it's higher of a chance with Bobby's because it's like it's the place.
It's the place.
I'm like, you could have taken her to the Metro Court. It's not like y'all haven't had lunch at the Metro Court.
So that was ridiculous already. So for me, Drew's the villain for having set up that scenario. Danny walks in. Danny and Rocco, in fact, walk in and see Scout there. And Scout is over the moon. Obviously, she loves her brothers, whatever. Kudos on Alexis for immediately intervening and be like, you gotta go.
It's like, which they did. It's like, Danny, I love you. And this is the situation. And it's like, well, that's so unfair. And like, yes, it is. And I think... Alexis is a little bit of a villain because, like Danny said, it's like, how come all of y'all get to do that and I can't? It's
Absolutely.
Like, it would have been better if we all suffered together.
That's what I'm saying.
And then I'd be the only one here in my little pity party.
Absolutely. Which I agree. And that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, she picked one grandchild over the other. I don't think that was right.
You should have let Drew just try to figure it out.
Exactly. But I did see Alexis's point in that, you know what? At least if she gets to see the rest of us, we can counteract.
Which is understandable. I get that. But here's the thing, too. It's like, when Drew was already bringing up the offer, Alexis is like, see, that is illegal. You are using your child as a bargaining chip against me. I'm like... And to me, I'm like...
it was illegal.
or where
it was unconscionable. It's
yeah,
unethical.
But she did say something about, it's like, yeah, no, that's not okay. But I was like, see, Alexis, that you can use that. You in court for you're trying to get custody of Scout. You can say the man needed a favor to get his girlfriend out of jail. Prove it. I'm like, this is the man broke in your house. I don't know how you didn't start recording a conversation. Like, come on. Yeah. Because is it legal in the state of New York to have one party consent in recording?
Don't know.
Either way.
In the soap opera, I'm sure it's 100% legal.
Either way, you could have recorded it and have proof that he's using Scout as a bargaining chip to get his girlfriend out of prison.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Didn't. So, definitely I have, and then Scout's nanny, before she even gives Alexis the opportunity to kind of address this issue, like, let me see what they do here. Because Alexis hustled them out pretty fast as far as I'm concerned. But the nanny already reported back to Drew, the boys have been here, they saw the sister.
And if anything, you should have said, Danny showed up. Because you said Rocco is fine.
So, yep. So, then the nanny hustles her out. And we get back to the Quartermain place where Drew is making his pitch. And Danny now comes if ever, Ronnie, you want to sell the house, I would love to be the first considered, blah, 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 blah. As you said, Danny and Rocco come in. That just went off the rails and escalated quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Danny immediately starts cussing the man out, and Ronnie being like, whoa, let's talk things out like civilized people. And Danny's like, no, we will. There is no being civil and talking things out with this man, because this man has a restraining order against me and a whole bunch of people for my little sister. And then Ronnie's like, well, that doesn't make sense, because from what you were just saying, you seem very much like a family man. And he's like, Ronnie, you don't understand. We haven't done. He's like, he kidnapped his sister. He's like, she wanted us to come home. She asked me to take her. It's not like, so I'm like, Ronnie, you need to get the story from the kids and the rest of the family who now have restraining orders, because like the man, like everyone has told you, this man is so manipulative, and the fact that it started to seem like she was actually like, oh yeah, I was like,
well, Ronnie. she did, and then she said, before the boys showed up, she was like, well, we could tell you're a congressman because that was some very interesting speechifying, because she it doesn't line up with anything she heard.
No. And then she said, but I can feel this is not the reason you came to me. What is it you want?
Yeah, exactly. So she can already sense he's not a person of integrity. And she was like she was calling it out kind of subtly. So I don't know that she was falling for it. She was leading him to believe she was, And then he came correct and talked about he wanted to buy the house and whatever.
Right. Then the cuss out from the boys.
And then the doorbell rang in the middle of it. So Ronnie goes to answer the door, and Drew just pulled out some vitriol against these boys.
And I will say, he made the mistake because he immediately he then threatened the boys, which led Laura to come straddling in, hero of my week, and said, whoa, Congressman, you are out of your depth and need to back up.
And it's like, it's one thing to threaten my grandson and his brother, but now I've heard you do it. Oh, watch yourself, because I'm coming for your tail. And I was like, come with it, Laura. That's some good time for you to show back up, because I don't know where you've been. Right,
and not only that, it's like Ronnie heard. So if Laura were to bring it up and be like, well, you've had some, and people are going against Laura, it's like, well, Mayor Collins, you've had your issues with the congressman before with, Measure C and all of this and all of that. It's like, yeah, well, I have a third party who is not privy to any of the issues between me and Drew, and she heard him threaten my grandson and his brother.
It is just really interesting to see all the pieces of the web being laid. We got Sidwell, who's got him in a vice. Laura's now going after him. We know Dante and them are gunning for him. Michael's gunning for him. Tracy's gunning for him. Like, just from every angle. And what we all believe, Willow gunned him. So, like, the takedown it better pay off. It better pay off, because we are 1 week away from November sweeps. It better pay off. Drew needs to be taken down this November. It really cannot continue beyond that. I can't take it.
Neither can I. I can't. I feel like we have a little bit left before we end off.
No, that was pretty much it.
Oh,
we've
no.
covered all our categories. What
we have there. It's not a category, but it's
oh, right.
that,
You wanted to talk about. Yeah, that's true. Brooklyn and Lois.
Yeah,
I forgot. Sorry.
So very quickly, I just want to bring up that one. Lois had asked Sunny to kind of have Gio come by and they have a talk, and I like how Gio is actually like, you know what? I finally understand you were only ever trying to protect me, and Lois is like, I'm still trying to do it. Like, I'm still trying to protect you, but I recognize, you know, I went too far in that protection. But he seems to, while he doesn't forgive Lois, he seems to not understand and is like, you know what? Like, I need to make peace in some of these things.
Yeah.
And give people a chance, because he even said, it's like, I don't know if I want a relationship with Brooklyn and Dante. And I'm like, Dante? Again, I will forever understand you not wanting a relationship with Dante. Brooklyn, on the other hand, Brooklyn is different. Because even though you didn't know Brooklyn was your mom, Brooklyn didn't know you were her son. Brooklyn never treated you any different. Even when you moved in
That's it.
to the
You
Quartermain
had
house,
a relationship.
she was still giving you advice, like how she thought Camilla would give you advice and stuff like that. Like, she has always been there for you. And her knowing you are her son, it doesn't change that for her. And she wants to be there for you, but she doesn't. It's not like she wants to parent you. She's like, you're already an adult. There's not much she can do, but she does want to be there and, you know, help you through things. But she doesn't want to be your mom in the extent in which, you know.
Yeah.
I think she would be that mother figure.
Exactly. And I think that's the challenge that Gio is having, is that she's my mother, so I have to put her in the mother slot that Camilla left. And it's like, no, y'all were friends.
Yeah.
You already had a relationship.
Like,
you
y'all
can
were
continue
family.
in that friendship.
It's like y'all were family, regardless of whether
it's like you thought you were cousins. Continue in that relationship.
Right. And the other thing is, because there was a point where Lois was addressing Brooklyn as his mother, and he's like, please don't do that.
Yeah, that hurts me.
Yeah, when I hear mother, I think of Camilla. And Lois is like, you're right, I'm sorry. Like, she recognized, she's like yeah, that was definitely a slip of the tongue. That was just a reflex.
Yeah.
And she's like, you're right. And Camilla will always be your mother. It's like, and to me, I see it as how people say it's like in cases of adoption or, you know, biological parent, if they didn't raise you or they or whatever, it's like, yeah, this person, they're your mother, your father, but they are not your mom or your dad.
Yeah.
It's like they're two different things.
Yep.
And so in the case of Camilla, it's like Camilla was Gio's mom, but Brooklyn is his mother.
Yeah.
So, but to Gio, it's like, yeah, both those words, Camilla is encapsulated by those words, and it's understandable.
Yeah, absolutely. And that doesn't have to change.
No, it doesn't have to. And then in the other regard, and still involving Lois, is it made me sad because she, even though her and Brooklyn haven't made up entirely, and Brooklyn even says, like, I miss you so much, and there are days where I want to call you and talk to you, but there's something in me that isn't ready to do that yet.
Yeah.
And I like that Brooklyn addressed that. It's like, I miss you. I want to call you. I want to talk to you. I want to tell you all this stuff.
I'm still angry.
It's like, yeah, I'm still angry. And it's like, a part of her does understand and forgive her. I think also after that talk with Flora, I think that really helped.
Yeah.
It's like, but I'm just not there yet. And then to know that her mom is going off on tour with Blaze because Blaze is dealing with all that stuff, and with Brooklyn dealing with the stuff here, she's like, I just wouldn't be able to go and be that manager to Blaze that she needs. I think you are a perfect replacement, and you would do the things that I would do, as I've learned from you. So it's like, yeah, go be the tour manager for Blaze. Go do what you need to do. And she's like, I can't. And Brooklyn says, like, I can't imagine you not being here. And I think she more means like close by.
Yeah.
But she's like, go. And so that scene in of itself was basically not only Brooklyn saying goodbye to Lois, but also us for the time being, because Lois, as we know, since she kind of got kicked out the Quartermain house, has been more contracted, not main.
Yep.
So this is technically our goodbye for now for Lois, as she has, as the actor Rena Sofer has moved from LA, where she's lived for the last 35 years, and moved to Brooklyn, has moved to New York. So it's gonna be a while before we see Lois again, but I do like how they brought Blaze back up and what she was doing on her tour and how she was doing and all of that, and how, you know, the reason they asked for Lois is because, you know, she has good connections, but also that it would make sense because Blaze lost her mom and she might need that motherly atmosphere, that motherly vibe around her right now.
Yeah.
And I think that it made sense. It was perfect. So.
Absolutely. And I think that was one of the things we had in our follow-up where we intended to was, why hasn't Blaze come back after her mother died and blah, blah, blah. So now we know. Now we know where Blaze is. So that would thank you again for the throwaway line explaining what Blaze is doing and why she didn't pop back up.
Yep. I would still like her to come back eventually. She was a great addition to the cast.
Yep.
But it also makes sense that, they're getting characters off because it's now looking like Jacinda's going to be a full-time cast member with the plot Michael has for her.
Yep.
Ronnie, unsure to say if I see her in the title card, then we know for sure. But for now,
yeah, I'm pretty sure she's the new cast member. I don't know to say who she's replacing what with budgets, but given that Monica's not there.
Well, Monica hasn't been there for a while. So...
No, I know, but I think Monica was probably still on contract. I don't think she was down to recurring status or anything like that.
But even
so, I think they're just replacing the contract.
Right, but even with her having passed, is more my thing. Because, even with her physically not being there, the second she passed, it's like, well, the contract's kind of null and void.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, well, that kind of gets thrown out the window.
Yeah, but, so, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
But, I know there's people out there who don't care for the actress or Ronnie. I actually think she'll make an interesting addition to the canvas and a great foil for Tracy. To have that back and forth. Because I don't think Tracy really had that. She had it momentarily, I think, with Stella.
Yeah.
She definitely has it with Martin, but I think she needs that female.
Yeah,
that female
for sure.
Foil,
so, and not to say that I think Ronnie will become the new Monica. Obviously, no one can replace Monica. I just think it's like they might end up developing a similar bond. Ronnie and again, it'll take the years as it did.
Yeah.
But as Cody had said to Tracy, it's like you and Ronnie are similar in more ways than you think.
Yeah.
And so she just has a nicer way of being, to the point.
Definitely.
Compared to you.
Definitely. And I like the bonding, and Tracy called it out, but I like to see the connection between Ronnie and Stella. Because to me, they're both two very down-to-earth people. I still don't know what Ronnie's game is, though. And the fact that I think she has a game. I like her. I'm glad she's here.
Yeah. I did also remember something, and I'm just going to give a very quick shout-out for a comedy moment to Stella for accidentally breaking that cup. Because that was weird.
I can't believe she did that.
But hey, it was an accident. She was stunned. And I did say, hey, if anyone if anyone could have broken a piece of china and Tracy wouldn't have been upset, it would have been Stella.
Man alive. You go at somebody rich people's house and drop and break the oh, my heart hurt. Anyway. So, all right. That's all I have.
That's all I have as well.
Okay. So come on back next week. Last week before November Sweet. So I'm going to keep touting it because I need something GH to hear this and make something happen.
Yeah.
All right. So come back next week for a little more soul.
And hopefully some major sass as we enter November.
All right. Have a great week, y'all.
Bye.